Farhan Zaidi, you're a big baseball guy like I am. Farhan, you say Farhan's name, you say Gabe Kapler's name, there's a ton of emotion that's evoked.
Yeah.
When I look on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, not on my page, on the San Francisco Giant team official page, and anything has Kapler in it. Kapler spoke to the media, for example, was one of these YouTube things. I pulled up the video, and I'm looking at the comments. I'm like, my God, people hate this guy.
They do not like him.
Is that social media negativity, or is it they view him because the brand of baseball they're watching, he's the face of that baseball that they're rejecting?
Yeah.
Or are they rejecting him because they can't yell at the owner because the owner's not in front or Farhan's not in front? Why so much vitriol for a guy, Gabe Kapler, who's doing exactly what Farhan wants him to do? I don't get it.
I've never got it either. And even when they won the 107 games, you never heard that much praise for Gabe Kapler.
No, it's the spreadsheets.
It's the spreadsheets. It's like, well, anybody can just plug it in. I don't know, and I don't want to necessarily take it there. Is it some of the politics and political stuff that happened? Maybe.
I'm sure that's part of it.
I have no clue. But Gabe Kapler, I think, represents a lot of different things. And number one, we've talked about replacing Derek Jeter. We've talked about replacing Posey. Replacing Bruce Bochy was a big deal.
Well, and not only did they replace him, they kicked him out the door, and now he's with the Texas Rangers.
Exactly. They said, hey, it's been a good run. We're moving in a different direction. Then you bring in a Gabe Kapler who couldn't be any different than Bruce Bochy.
And on day one, you had to defend why you were hiring him because of some of the stuff that happened when he was part of the Dodgers
My friends from Temple, my Philly friends, have fun. Have fun with Gabe
Philly
Kapler.
fans.
Yeah, have fun with Gabe Kapler. And then you get the 107 wins, and I'm thinking, oh, we are having fun. But nobody else wants to give Gabe Kapler his flowers. It can't just be his fault when the Giants lose, but then you don't give them flowers when they win. And I'm not saying Gabe Kapler's done anything near Bruce Bochy, but there does seem to be, they're a package deal almost, in that they seem like, to the old school baseball fan, they just don't like it. And it's interesting because
he was a player, though. That's the thing that's ironic to me, is that he literally played in the league for X amount of years, and yet he's all about the spreadsheets. And I know he's executing the will of what Farhan wants done, but it's weird because I feel like you would think a guy who played in the league as long as he did would have better feel for the feel of the game as opposed to the numbers of the game, and understand that an at-bat in the eighth inning is not equivalent to an at-bat in the first inning.
We have no clue how handcuffed he is, right? And I would say I watched a lot of Chopped on Food Network, watch a lot of guys' grocery games. If Gabe Kapler is your chef, and you say, hey, you got to make me something, but you can only use this stuff in this fridge, do you think he's making a good enough meal with what is in his fridge?
Well, no, time out. If you're using your analogy, okay, he would not be the MacGyver cook, okay? He would say, where's the recipe? Because I need Farhan to print me out the recipe so I can execute exactly what because that's why they hired him.
But I think he's doing that. I think he's doing that.
Yeah, but that's why I take all my frustration with Kapler and I turn and I pivot and I point it all at Farhan.
And that's fair.
And I pointed at ownership for choosing Farhan and that brand of baseball. So to me, I feel like we're directing anger at Kapler misguidedly, and it should be at the ownership and their direction of choosing Farhan because you've rejected that brand of baseball.
Right. And now we don't even know if going back to Kapler, we'd have to, do some homework to see, was he this analytics focused with the Phillies as well, or if it's kind of moved and transitioned in this way, also being under Farhan. Hey, this is what we do. This is how we move. These are our theories. These are our ideas and things like that. So it's hard for me to put anything on Kapler, but at the same time, I'm the type of person, I can put it on Kapler, but I'm also going to give him his flowers for the 107 wins. Now, the most pinch hit home runs, right? They set a record for that. Are we going to give Gabe Kapler flowers on that? Well, he called the pinch hits.
No. Those came from up above. They were going through the data and they said, if this matchup happens at this point in the game, we're going to this guy. So you don't think
he's making any of these moves?
It just sounds like to me, when you listen to him in postgame, he does at times go with talking to the guys pregame, and then they create a strategy as an organization. For example, we're not going to go to Tyler Rogers today. Why? Because Tyler pitched in 3 straight games, and philosophically, we're not going to allow a guy to pitch in that 4th straight game, even if that's the matchup that the data tells us to go to. So, what I'm getting at is almost every decision he's telling me in his postgame is coming from up above.
Well, then just like somebody saying on the Xfinity Mobile text line 650, Kapler is a puppet. And what's the point?
Well, hold on. If you're going with the reliever thing, they're like, let's not use Tyler Rogers because he's pitched a couple days in a row, and the front office doesn't want to pitch him.
That's an organizational philosophy.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that was, the Giants under Bochy and Sabian, it was that same thing. If we're going to pitch Jeremy Affeldt 3 days in a row, we're not going to pitch him today because he's pitched 3 days in a row. So, if the previous regime was making those same things, so, is that, like...
Sam. I agree with you. Bruce Bochy, Wotus, those guys, they use data. Like, we're acting like Bochy's like, should we just show up to the game and the game just happens?
Yeah, he was just
play baseball. We just play ball.
That's like the biggest misnomer. Like that they didn't use data. Like that's what we're saying. Like you just show up and you just pitch. Like give me a break. Like
I don't even know who's starting this game. Somebody get out there.
What I'm saying is in that certain situations, I believe Bochy, he probably talked with Sabian and was like, hey, I like these guys in this series against these pitchers. Literally, though, I feel like this team now is like, you will go to Austin Slater if they go to a righty, no matter what. I don't care if Jock Peterson hit a home run in the last at-bat and is 10 for his last 10. If a righty comes up, we are going to Slater because we trust him against this guy in this matchup.
But do you know that, though?
What?
Do you know that that's for sure not a Gabe Kapler call?
Well, for example, when they took out Evan Longoria and he lost his mind in the dugout when they yanked him after one at-bat, we knew right away. It's like, well, we knew the data was telling us that we like this guy against this pitcher in this matchup, no matter what.
Well, so how many of these guys are actually good enough to where it's like, okay, maybe the data doesn't say this is a good matchup here, but is this guy good enough to beat that?
Listen to what we're saying. This is why baseball has fallen so far behind. We're talking about the decisions that are made before the game's even happening. We are going to go to Jordan Poole at the 8-minute mark no matter what. Well, what if Steph Curry turns his ankle? Doesn't matter. We're waiting till 8 minutes. We're waiting.
All right.
But that's what it's become.
I don't think they're that hardcore and rigid about it, though. I think over the last couple of years, you are seeing Gabe Kapler get more into the in-game feel and not just going based off purely what they scripted before the game. He has gotten, I think, a little bit better at just being like, you know what? Let's try and let the game come to me.
I'm going to let you know this right now. You mark my words. Mark the tape. Mark my tape.
I got my pen.
Tape. This year's fall guy will be Gabe Kapler. And
absolutely.
I don't think it's fair. I'm going to tell you on the front.
Chris Carter.
I don't think it's fair. I don't think he's executing the plan of what ownership hired Farhan to do. He's going to be the scapegoat this year because if they do not win enough games or whatever, no matter how this shakes down, when their season is over, the fall guy will be Gabe Kapler. All right, let us know about the biggest games and stories in the Bay Area prep scene. Email us at hss@957thegame.com. CCS is going on right now. I want to hear about boys and girls basketball. We got baseball starting up. Starting up. You know who's got a really good team?
De La Salle.
My buddy Eli Duncan, who I coached in basketball for many years. St. Francis.
Okay.
Look out for those Lancers.
All right.
Team looks sick. Does De La Salle have a good baseball team right now? Well, good. I want to hear about that.
Very good.
We
Kyle
never
Harrison.
played you in baseball.
No, but now De La Salle we're really good.
Okay,
right
because when we were growing up, you had a basketball tournament in Christmas. We would play you guys from time to time, but I never played you in baseball.